releases, man. Unfortunately,
the
releases that happened last week, and it's really weird because we have these situations happen every year, and then every year it happens. It stinks because some of your favorites, people that you like, unfortunately find themselves without a job with the company, and I think I'm kind of, uniquely qualified to talk about this because I used to work for AT&T, as you know, and back in 2020, AT&T was a $200 billion corporation. And what they did was they got rid of a lot of us. I'm talking thousands of employees. We worked here in El Segundo. We worked for the original content team, like on-air programming, original TV series. We had a great thing going on here with DirecTV, and then it transitioned to AT&T. And AT&T, I guess, didn't see the use for our particular organization, so we all got surplused and let go. And you mentioned Game of Thrones earlier.
Yeah. Somebody died?
Well, I got lucky. I was risen from the dead not once but twice. Like I got fired twice. I got risen from the dead. It wasn't by the lady Melisandre, though. It was by the lady Jerry Ann. And it was also by Sir Rickard of House Eisen, who really went to bat for me when I was getting let go. I'll just say this, Rich really went to bat. He worked hard to help save my job and to help me get put with another group that allowed me to have a few more months of employment before they finally shuttered the entire department. So I thank Jerry Ann, I thank Rich for helping me out. But yeah, it stinks sometimes, but that's what happens in big corporations. They're always looking for ways, no matter how much money they make, to cut costs. And unfortunately, that's what happens every year. We have these releases, but the thing is, every time the releases happen, you have different reactions, but they're all always the same. Right now, you're going to have people who are going to see these names get released, and they're going to legitimately feel bad that people are losing their jobs, which makes sense. But then you have the people who will spend, 12 months bashing the company from their couch, from their basement. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. And then someone gets released, and then they have not even they just make a statement. And that person who had nothing to do with it will ultimately get online and be like, well, no one paid to see you anyway. Or we didn't like you anyway. Or no one cares what you think. It's like, wait a minute. This person's been directly affected by this. This was their life. This was their livelihood. But now we don't care what they have to say, but you've spent all this time complaining yourself. Like, I don't get people like that, man. I don't understand how people, you can have your opinion, but this person's opinion to me matters more because they were actually there. They were living this.
Yeah.
And we respectfully, let me hear what your gripe is, so fans get really weird around this time, and then it's always the last thing. Oh, well, they fumbled this person or they dropped the ball. Well, chances are, respectfully, they didn't. The ball wasn't fumbled. The ball wasn't dropped. It was because that person at that moment wasn't, I don't know, they weren't doing maybe what was necessary, didn't fit the game plan. And it sucks. It truly does.
Yeah.
When you look at these names and you see who got let go, it does suck, but it's part of the business.
Yeah. I think it's always difficult to kind of put into words about, these releases, because as a fan, you can see and think of all these things that could have happened, and they were just doing that and yada yada yada, but not knowing the inner workings and conversations, we'll never really know why they happened. I remember when I woke up one morning and Aleister Black was gone.
Crazy.
Bro, I could not fathom.
I was shook by that.
Bro, I remember waking up and Toni Storm was gone.
Well, Toni asked for her release.
She asked for her release, but just like that feeling of like, wow, we won't know what's happening behind closed doors. And same thing with Andrade. Andrade.
Well, Bray was one that I think had the most people like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's we just don't know. And anybody who watches NCW knows that we are basically the hub for NXT talent, and we know there's a lot of talent on the rise.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of talent on the rise, and NXT is still signing people.
Right.
So the same way that those talents on NXT kind of got to move out the way for the people that they're signing, where they going to go? They got to go to Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
So it's happening where somebody like Jeff Cobb coming in, or, you know, there's still whispers about Mariah May. We don't know where that's going to go, but like there's got to be room to be made. I have a bit of confusion as a fan. I remember reading Braun Strowman being gone, especially when I seen him just help elevate what's my man?
Bronson Reed and
Bronson
Jacob
Reed
Fatu,
and Jacob Fatu. Like those storylines made those dudes look like beasts.
You beat the monster.
Look like beasts. And so, you know, that was a little puzzling. When you think about Dakota Kai being in the finals for the IC title.
I know that bothered you, right?
I was like, dang, like we can't, like nothing. And then especially because I know her work with Zelina on, you know, their streaming work. And so, you know, you saw Zelina's success, and I kind of thought, you know, maybe it was going to be time for Dakota, especially with her name being in the news about her saying, you know, I'm not hurt or anything, and I miss you guys. And so now you kind of see what writing was really on the wall. It's unfortunate, but the thing about wrestling is it's never really over. It's never really over. Yeah. There are so many places that people can go to elevate themselves. You see some people that WWE let go that are thriving over there at AEW, and you never know what boomerang you might land on, because look at what happened with Drew McIntyre. Look at what happened with Cody Rhodes. You just don't know that it's completely done. But for now, to all the talent that's out there, you don't lose your love for the game. You know, just get out there and be a badass somewhere. Show them that they were wrong. Show them that they made a mistake. And, you'll always have the fans that you do. And to the fans that are upset, when you see these superstars in other promotions or in other ventures, support them. Get out there, support them. Get behind them. You see Zelina in her ZV Army online. She got gold around her waist right now. You have to be that wall of support wherever these dudes go. Don't be a weirdo. Don't be a tribalist. Follow them and support them. And that was my soapbox moment.
Yeah, you know, you spoke about the NXT talents, right? And I know a lot of, you know, we talk about some of the women who got released, but the thing is, right, like you said, there's got to be room, because Roxanne and Julia, they're already there. Guess what? Lash Legend is coming. Stephanie Vaquer, she's coming. Yeah. She's on her way.
Oh, Jakara Jackson too. Shout out Jakara Jackson.
She, unfortunately, you know, which, you know, I don't get that one either. I don't get that one. But like I said, like, Lola Vice is on her way. Jada Parker is on her way. Fallon Henley's on the way. Sol Ruka's on the way. Like, you look at LFG, like the girl Xena, the blonde powerlifter girl, she's coming. Yeah. Like the girl Bailey, who's going to have to change her name because she can't be Bailey. Yeah. You've never seen anyone like Bailey, man. When they get her right and they get her presentation and her character right, she's going to be a force. All these women, man, they're on their way. So, you know, it stinks, but in order to make room, like Jordan Grace is coming, like all these women, Izzy Dame, you know, they're on their way up, and there's got to be spaces for them, because these women that I mentioned, I truly believe you're going to have 5 just like certified superstars out of them, if not more. Like, these women are stars, man. And you got to make room for them. And that's just, unfortunately, you know, part of the business. You know, there's a lot of names that got released that I do scratch my head about. But the great thing about it is there's places, man. That's why you people were into this tribalism who want AEW to fail or you want WWE to fail. Man, get over yourself, because that's allowing people to eat, man. That's allowing people to put food on the table and to continue entertainment and entertaining. You know, we got AEW, TNA, ROH, MLW, WWE. Some people might be better off going to Japan. Like, I would love to see a Braun Strowman work over in Japan. Like, they would love this dude. You know what I mean? So a lot of opportunities, you know, time for a lot of people maybe to step their games up, can maybe, you know, tinker around with what wasn't working and maybe make it work, try a new character, try something else. But like this new crop of women, especially in particular, did I mention Lash?
Yeah.
Okay, I did say Lash. Good. These next crop of women are coming up, man, are some monsters, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and just to speak to tribalism, because I fell into that maybe 2 years ago. I was really adamant just because of arguments online. Yeah. That's who you really mad at.
Yeah, you ain't mad at the people.
Care about AEW being more successful than WWE or vice versa. You just want to win arguments with people who are not in the room.
And probably people who aren't real. Like, I see so many people. Like,
that's
sometimes I see you getting to people and I'll go look at that person's page and I'll be like, oh, they got 100 followers. And I'm like, Shay, this ain't even a real person, man.
Yeah, bro, I like shooting fake ducks sometimes. But yeah, it's without these other places, you have no idea what type of barren wasteland it would really be.
It'd be awful.
It would be awful. And these right now, the top two, obviously WWE and AEW, you need each other.
Yeah,
you need each other because that's how you keep your fangs sharp. You got to watch what the other one is doing so you can innovate. You know, stay ahead of the curve. You need that other alpha in the room. You need that, and so. Wherever these superstars go, you got to show support.
Yeah.
You got to show support.
Make sure you cheer for them loudly as you are complaining that they got released. The next time they got an indie show or the next time they're making an appearance, go there and support, because chances are some of them are going to make their way back to the promotion they just got.
And if they do make their way back, really support, because the one thing that will keep somebody's job is if you move that dollar, bro, they're not getting rid of you. It is what it is. So you have to be more supportive wherever they go, once again. And one thing I do know for sure, the 3 letters that they can always find a home at is NCW, TJ.
You see it.
NCW. Bro.
That's right.
You know what it is and you know what it ain't. Watch new episodes of No Contest Wrestling every Wednesday or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us at No Contest Wrestling Podcast on Instagram.